गुड मॉर्निंग जेंटलमैन। दोस्तों, मैं हूं मदन सिंह। मैं आपके साथ बात करने वाला हूं ऑन अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक, not on news. I have no news to give you, as I told you, but I'm going to talk to you as to what is going to happen in the time to come after the Iran war is over. See, ultimately, the Iran war will be over whether it drags on for some time or doesn't drag on, and it will be in favor of the Americans. That is one aspect of it. But let us see what's going to happen. One of the after effects of this war is going to be the demise of Western Europe. Now, this is a very sad thing I have to state because the European powers, in particular three of them, that is Germany, France, and England, they are under the impression that they are superpowers still and living in a dream world. And the dream world is that, come what may, the Americans will always help us, come what may, and we will be having a ball all the time. Well, every day is not Sunday, and the time has come where they have to count their chickens. If you remember, they are ungrateful to the fact that the Americans had set up in 1949 NATO to help them face the Soviet Union. And in 1945, at the end of the war, General George C. Marshall had formulated a famous Marshall Plan to help them recover economically, which they did. But it was on the back of the Americans riding piggyback, and they thought they're going to be great powers also along with the Americans. But then, at the critical juncture when the Iran war was on, and the United States expected the allies to join him, none of them did. They kept silent, and even a request by Donald Trump that they should help him police the Strait of Hormuz brought no comment at all, no support. And probably now the Americans, including Donald Trump, have realized that these countries are just not reliable. They don't believe in unity. They are ungrateful. And the net result is, I think it's going to have repercussions. Once the Iran war is over, I think America is going to teach these countries a lesson which they'll never forget. These countries, as it is, are doomed. Now they're going and playing footsie with the Chinese. Just imagine the Canadian Prime Minister, the French President, German Chancellor, the British Prime Minister have all been to China. What for they had gone there? I couldn't understand that. Probably they had gone there to placate the Chinese and tell them, well, look after us. Because they feel that China is very far away, it cannot be a threat to them. That's like, a policy like the lion wearing the sheepskin, thinking, well, the Chinese are the sheepskin, and they won't do anything. It's not going to be like that. China is waiting to dominate the world. And if they have Europe on their side, well, good enough. Well, the Europeans have just lost their moorings. They're concentrating on Russia as an enemy. And they thought that they can break Russia into another few countries, cozy up to China and regain their power. But the forces of history are against them. Secondly, they have a demographic problem. A birth rate in some countries down to 1.1. They can't sustain the nations. And what's going to happen there? No young men available. No younger generation. Who's going to fight in the army? They don't have the strength, the military power, nothing. So, gentlemen, these are the things which the Europeans should have realized. And once America withdraws from Europe, I don't think Europe can defend itself at all. And if they're thinking China is going to come on their side against Russia, I think it's a pipe dream. So, gentlemen, this is the point. At one time, these countries were great powers. They had colonies all over the world. But it's all over. It's gone like the wisp of the wind. And what they're heading for is a dodo. And in addition, they're facing a tremendous internal danger, which they're trying to blush over. You just go to London, you don't find a white man there. It's taken over by the Muslims. France also, the Muslims are dominating. Germany, they have a massive backlash from the Muslims who are there. And the Muslims have just put up a video I saw which came from the Aqsa Mosque, which says that it's the duty of the migrants who go to England to fertilize the European women. What? Well, gentlemen, I'm coming to the end of my video and I will say goodbye and God bless. Well, gentlemen, I'll call a halt now The fact of the matter is that once this war is over and Iran is defeated, Europe is going to be like the dodo. You know, the dodo was the bird which has become extinct. And then people will talk of Europe had a great empire. It'll be something like that. I think if you like my video, please share it and come back again. I will say goodbye and God bless to you all. The purpose of this video was basically to tell you what is likely to happen once the Iran war is over, which it will. It may be a world war, whatever it may be, but it will be over, and that will be the end of the European hegemony and the European power, maybe for the next 200 years. Jai Hind, let us see.